We're live. We are live. All right. Give me a couple minutes here. I'll be right with you. Woo, look at that hair. All right. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, yes. It is time for Diet Coke and all of its wondrous wonderfulment. Wonderment. Ooh, man, look at that stuff. The Thumpinator! Good evening! Oh, so much to do in so little time. Oh, we love our sounds. Good evening, Lettuce Legho. Good to see ya. And you're on Twitch. Cool. Yes, we are live on both YouTube and on Twitch. Fantastic. All right, give me a moment here and I will shut all this noise down and we'll talk and we'll have fun. Oh, I got plenty of stuff going on this evening. A couple days ago I didn't have anything to talk about, but all right. Take that music. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. DJ Trish! Hello. Am I auditioning for Pink Floyd? No. Pink Floyd's over. Done with. And, oh, okay. Hello, Kevin. He's not in Des Moines anymore. And we're not in Kansas. But we're rolling the Toto line just the same. Anyway. Oh. Kevin and I had some adventures this week, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. And hopefully we will be getting a visit from our favorite 9-year-old Roman in just un momento, por favor. I'll let you know about one little adventure that I went along this week. That was just me. I don't know if anybody, well, there's probably people that are old enough to remember this stuff, but look at this thing here. What the hell is that? It is the DBX NX40 tape record play noise eliminator. It's a noise reduction system, and Uh, DBX also does a lot of work in the broadcast processing field, but at one point in time, they did a lot of hi-fi stuff for home hi-fi. And one of their wondrous inventions was a thing called a DBX disc. Okay? Now, this box you could hook up to your stereo, and you could also hook it up with your tape recorder. And back in the old days, when you recorded on these things, the most popular system to reduce the background noise was called Dolby, or Doubly if you're into Spinal Tap. Anyway, DBX entered the consumer electronics audio stereo market with the DBX noise reduction system. Similar to Dolby, but unlike Dolby, if you turned off the DBX on a DBX recorded recording, it was not listenable. If you turn off the Dolby on a Dolby recording, you get the highs go up. It's like cranking up your treble and you hear extra hiss and all stuff like that. But DBX was a different type of system. It was a compression and expansion system. It compressed the entire signal by a specific ratio. They had their own special sauce that they put together. So you'd take a recording, like people would record stuff off of the radio, off of their records or whatever, and the DBX would squish the dynamic range of this signal, like by a ratio of 2-to-1 or something like that. And it recorded that on the tape because, according to them, that signal was easier to reproduce on tape. And then upon playback, they would take that same signal and expand it. They call it companding, compression and expansion. So they'd expand it upon playback, and the result would be a recording that, even when using a substandard or a not super high quality recording medium, would make it sound really, really good. That's what the DBX noise reduction system was supposed to do. But like I said, they have also done all sorts of things in the radio industry, television industry with sound and things like that. They're still in business today, making stuff. I think another company bought them, like Harman or somebody like that. So back in the 1980s, when a piece of equipment such as this was around, and this is what it looked like on the back. You hooked it up to your stereo system through your tape monitor loop, and then you hooked your tape recorder up to it as well. But sometime around, 1980, 1985, somewhere in there, they said, I got an idea. Why don't we take master tapes of albums and put them through a DBX encoder and put that on a record? And then we sell these boxes. So when people play their records through this box, the box will expand it and it'll sound better than their regular records. And this is one such example. Great album. Many of you are probably familiar with it. But it was this wasn't put out directly by Columbia Records. It was licensed by a company called Direct Disc Labs. And they put this sticker on it that says, full dynamic range recording, a DBX disc for use only with the DBX disc decoder, which is what that thing is. And I bought into this. I jumped into it. I saved my quarters and dollars and went and picked up something at like one of those boxes and used them to play this record. And they have all sorts of other records available. I think all in all, they had a total of like 250 albums that they had put out, including this one, Dreamboat Annie by Heart. And then I've got some orchestral records. Luther Laredo playing piano. Let's see, we got the American Brass Band Journal Revisited by the Empire Brass Quintet. See the little DBX sticker on here. And you've also got an orchestral recording. Let's see, what was this called? Is this Orchestral Masterpieces? Zoltan Rozany and the Philharmonia Hungarica, Ginastera, Bizet, Berlioz, and Rimsky-Korsakov. The Digital Masterpiece Series, Volume 3. So they took the digital recording and encoded it onto one of these DBX discs. Let's see. Got a couple more here. I've got Aaron Copland works with the Dallas Symphony Orchestras on the Turnabout label. Or Turnabout label. That's a DBX record. And last but not least, Lorindo Almeida on guitar, The Art Of. And Lorindo's playing pieces by Galilei, Sor, and a couple of his own things. Very interesting. So, another DBX record. So, people have been posting on like the hi-fi and record collecting forums on Facebook about these DBX records, because people saying, "Hey, I got one of these DBX records. Don't know what the heck to do with it. I can play it. It works, but it sounds terrible. What do I do?" And so I'm trying to tell people what they do. And I'm thinking, why didn't this ever take off? Because there were problems with it. You couldn't just flatly go and make one of these DBX records and expect it to be good. There's got to be more care taken in the process of making these records so that they sound good. Now, for example, I've got the two pop records. I got this one, the Blood, Sweat, and Tears. I pulled out that box and plugged it in this week and put this on, and my turntable is so much better than it was back in the 80s. The sound quality is like 2-3 times better than it was back then. And they took a lot of care in transferring that tape onto this record. And man, it sounds great. You hear details that you usually don't hear. And then I pulled out this one. Now, this had two different versions in DBX. This one was put out directly by Mushroom Records, the company that originally put out this Heart album. And there was another version that was put out by Nautilus, who was one of those companies that does like what Mobile Fidelity does. They license titles and release them out in allegedly better quality than you've ever heard it before. But this was done by the original company that put out the Heart album, Dreamboat Annie. And there's a big, big difference because they were not careful with their levels, and this does not sound as dynamic as the Blood, Sweat, and Tears album does. It has the ability to, because it's on a DBX record, but no, it isn't. The sound is, they cranked it up and compressed it a bit before they put it on the disc. So, and you can't adjust this amount of compression and stuff like that. So they ruined it before they put it on there. So that's good. That's my little blast from the past here about the DBX encoded record. Let's take a look at what's happening in the chat room, shall we? Let's see. Chief Dancing Ostrich, hey, what's up? Good to see you. Bad news, my favorite show, Quantum Leap, got canceled. I am never watching television ever again. You hear that? Never, ever, ever watching television ever again. Well, I kind of felt that way when Monty Python stopped making television shows. Anyway, um, also, let's see. There's a book out by Mark Masters on the history of the cassette. Google Mark Masters and order it. I wouldn't mind checking that out. I may check that out with my local library to see if they've got a copy. Paul, hello, Paul, from Coalinga, California. Good to see you. Thank you all for stopping by. And let's see, Stan Low Cricket says, sounds like the new DBX is MQA. Folding and unfolding high-res audio with dubious results compared to 24-bit PCM. To be brutally honest, I have not heard MQA streaming because I'm not a big fan of streaming. I mean, I've tried iTunes. I've tried Apple Music. Didn't like it because it tried to completely hijack my digital music library. And a lot of my digital music library is stuff that I've transferred myself or even my own recordings. And they're trying to upload it and download it and restrict it and do this with it. And there was one time where I bought an album on iTunes, and while I was an Apple Music subscriber, I tried to play this album. And because I had already paid for it and it was streaming it as well, it would play each song twice. Once from my hard drive and once from the streaming. It was a mess. Also, Spotify doesn't sound that good, but Spotify, the free version, is good for checking out stuff that you are interested in. And I've got an example of that in a little bit. Also, the freest way to check out music online is YouTube, of course, which you may be watching right now if you're not on Twitch. Oh, and speaking of Twitch, there's a small possibility that I may do a test stream on Twitch about an hour after I'm done with this show. We always go from 10 to 11 o'clock, and thank you for clicking on this little makeshift program, dog and pony show that we're doing here. It's a lot of fun, and I like doing it for you, so I really appreciate it. Okay, new records. You know what? Roman hasn't shown up yet, so I'm going to see if he's going to come down. I'm going to text his mom and see if he's coming down. Let's see here. Here we go. Hey! Exclamation point. Is Roman coming down? Oh, wait. Yeah, I got to do this first. There we go. Is Roman going to be coming down anytime soon? Is Roman going to be coming down anytime soon? There we go. All right. His mother's been texted. So the young man should be down anytime. So let's talk about new records that I got this week. I ordered this the instant it was made available to order. This is the second release on the Coherent record label, which is Kevin Gray's label. And it is Hackensack West by Anthony Wilson. And as you may already know, if you are in the vinyl community and you watch a lot of videos, this is a jazz album featuring this dude, Anthony Wilson, on guitar. No, it's not Tony Wilson from Factory Records in the UK. It's Anthony Wilson. And on this album, he is joined by, let's see, Gerald Clayton on piano, John Clayton on bass, and, according to Penn Jillette, the best drummer in the world, Jeff Hamilton. It was hard for me to remember because it doesn't specifically say who plays what on this album, but when you're reading the credits, there's a whole bunch of acknowledgments for Jeff Hamilton and all of the what's the word? The companies that give him money to play their stuff. I forget what that's called. Somebody's going to come to my to my rescue and say what that is. What is that when you're playing an instrument because a company has paid you to do so? Good evening, St. Brando. Good to see you. But there's the dudes right there on there. So we know that this record sounds fantastic because this is done in Kevin Gray's own personal studio. Endorsement. Thank you, Michael. Michael P. Dawson to the rescue. Yes, there's a whole paragraph about Jeff Hamilton's endorsements for Mapex drums, Sabian Hammertone series cymbals, innovative percussion signature sticks and brushes, Remo drum heads, Jeff Hamilton's cymbal stands, and X percussion accessories. Okay, already. Anyway, so so this is recorded at it's nicknamed Hackensack West, but it is Kevin Gray's own personal studio that he has made, modeled after Rudy Van Gelder's first studio, which was in his parents' house, and that was in Hackensack, New Jersey. But Kevin's out in, closer to L.A. So we know that the sound quality of this is fantastic. But how is the music? Well, I also picked up the first album that Kevin put out on his label, the Kristen Eadkins. She's a sax player, and that was an interesting little record. Not great, though, but this one really jams. This is a very good, mostly mellow album, and very interesting track on side 2, a jazz version of the tune by Todd Rundgren from Something Anything, Marlene. It's kind of pretty. I think they could have fleshed that out just a little bit more because it sounds like they're just goofing around with it. But a lot of the other tracks, like the Lands, Hackensack West, very cool. So if you're into guitar, bass, drums, piano, just nice jazz, this is a good album for you. Next up on the new records, hello, Metal Theologian. Good to see ya. Aw, DJ Trish, thank you so much. Another record I just got. I pre-ordered this as well. It's the new Ohio Players album. No, it's not. It's the new Black Keys album called Ohio Players. Kind of in tribute to Ohio bands because they're from Akron. And it's kind of cool because this album is on. They take a look at the cover. It's got the bowling motif, and check out that bowling ball that that guy's holding. All right. Then you pull out the record, and it's just like the bowling ball. There's other versions of this, including black, but they had a real good price on this, so I ordered it, and I kind of like the Black Keys. I saw the Black Keys before they had any records out, back in the early 2000s. And Beck is all over this album, and it shows in the flavor of the music. So, very interesting. Kind of cool. I will listen to this some more in the coming weeks and give you a full review, but jury is out on the Black Keys Ohio Players record so far. And now, I'm going to tell you about a little shopping trip I had with my good friend Kevin Hart. Kevin S. Hart, that is. Visiting the lovely state of Ohio, because he's from out here originally. And him and I went shopping for records at it's a little shop that has mostly used records. But they have some new ones as well, and they have a lot of off the beaten path records. Name of the place is Mistake by the Lake. It's on, I believe, 65th Street in Lorain in Cleveland, Ohio. We went out there, checked the place out, and let's see. Metal Theologian is asking, did you see those new Creation Rebel reissues? I just found out about them today and snagged both the ones I saw. I don't know about those, so I will have to check that out. Okay. And I have just been notified that Roman will be coming down shortly. Anyway, so Kevin and I went shopping, and I picked up a couple of records. I picked up a reissue of Songs to Know and Sing by Echo and the Bunnymen. I've always wanted to have this album, but just never got around to picking it up. It's a compilation of their singles, and this is a German reissue that was put out in 2020, I believe, on the Korova label. So the mastering is pretty darn good on it. I was very happy with that. So, nice little reissue of Songs to Know and Sing. Songs to Learn and Sing, that is, by Echo and the Bunnymen. And I saw played on Grown Man Record Net like 2 weeks ago this specific album by the T-Bones, Everyone's Gone to the Moon and Other Trips. Now, I've got their first record, Whatever Shape Your Stomach's In, which is kind of cool, kind of a time capsule of the times. This is in the 60s. And check out this band here. Yeah. Kind of like this album is kind of like a different kind of version of the Ventures, and it's on the same label as the Ventures. Well, actually, the Ventures were on Dalton, which was distributed by Liberty Records. This is actually on Liberty Records, but this also is not an instrumental record. There are some instrumentals on it, but these are mostly cover tunes that are played 60s kitschy, and they've got people singing on them, and it's not that wonderful. I mean, hello, Roman. We've got songs like Paint It Black, Kicks by Paul Revere and the Raiders, Hold On, I'm a Comin', Oh How Happy, Fare Thee Well, La Do Da Da, Let's Go Get Stoned, Balboa Blue, Everyone's Gone to the Moon, Shangri-La, Fly Me to the Moon, in other words, da da da, Frank Sinatra standard, and How High the Moon. And I was kind of disappointed by this. Good thing I only paid $5 for it. And we'll talk more about the records that I picked up at Mistake by the Lake. But first, I want to talk to Roman. Hello, how are you?
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good.
Yeah, good. He's kind of halfway done, a little bit more than halfway done with spring break. He hasn't been to school all week. He's been spending the entire time playing video games in the front room. But you love it, don't you? It's his favorite kind of vacation. Anyway, but we live here in Ohio, Northeast Ohio, close to Cleveland, and if unless you've been hiding under a rock lately, you know that there's going to be an eclipse on Monday, a solar eclipse, a total eclipse. Now, personally, I've never seen a total eclipse before. My friend Kevin, he's in town partly to see the eclipse, and he's taking care of some other stuff as well. But he's seen several eclipses, and he's been giving me tips as to what to do during the eclipse, so we enjoy it more. But the last time that I even kind of got to see an eclipse was like in the mid 1970s. There was a partial eclipse that you could see in the Cleveland area, and I basically stood in the front yard of our house holding up a piece of paper that had a hole poked in it and then projecting the shape of the sun obscured by the moon on a piece of paper below. And that was crazy. The Emperor of Ohio, yeah. Thank you, Spaghetti Lee. How you doing? And so, Metal Theologian, you had Eclipse that was in South Carolina some time ago. Okay. And yes, people do not stare into the sun with 3D glasses. That's a very good thing. As a matter of fact, I bought special eclipse glasses for every member of my family. Me, my wife, my two daughters, my son-in-law, and Mr. Roman right here. Have you tried eclipse glasses yet, Roman? Are you interested in trying them?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Are you excited about seeing the eclipse?
Mm-hmm.
Did they talk about it in school?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because when it happens, it's only going to be dark for about 3 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not going to be like at the middle of the night dark. From what I hear, it's kind of like the dark that it gets before it gets really dark outside.
No,
So
it's like basically at breakfast.
at breakfast? Okay. Well, like when you're getting ready for school time? Okay. Yeah, so like around 7 in the morning or something like that. So, here are the glasses. And as a public service, I will let you know that you should only use the glasses that have that ISO number, 12312.2 or -2. And if they're scratched, they're no good. But when you put these things on your head, you're not supposed to be able to see anything. I mean, I'm staring directly into this light here, and I can't see anything except the back of the glasses. But when it's a clear sunny day out, and you take these glasses, you look up, you can see the sun, and you'll be able to see it. And of course, if you're in the field of totality, once the moon has completely covered up the sun and it's dark, you can take off your glasses and look around and look up for a second and see up there, because you can see the flare of the sun. At least this is what I've been told.
Those?
Yeah, please do. Stand up. We want to get you on camera doing this. Go ahead, stick them on your head. Now, can you see anything?
No.
It's black. I'm going to shine a bright light in your eyes. You see anything at all?
Just a yellow light.
Just a yellow light? Oh, okay. Because that's pretty bright. This little portable light here. I want to see if that happens to me as well. He fell over and he was dead. Oh yeah,
You shine the light in my eye.
you can barely see it. It's just a little dot. That's weird. Okay, so, but that's high intensity light straight into your eyes. I've also been told that if you take your cell phone camera and point it up at the sun, that it can damage that as well. So if you know how to take pictures of the sun during an eclipse and you've got all the proper equipment, do so. I'm leaving that up to the professionals. I'm not going to try and do that myself. But very cool. Hello, Jim from Record Collector News. I just got your most recent issue. Where is it? Is this it? I think this is the most recent one. Yeah, yes it is, I think. The Doors! If you are a resident of California or Nevada or some other states, you can get a copy of this at your local record store. And Jim puts it out, and he's a pretty cool guy. Anyway, so that's what we're going to do on Monday. Monday, what we're going to do is we've got I got to bring up my DJ rig with my speakers, not turntable DJ rig, my computer DJ rig, but I've got my whole PA system. And I've got a whole playlist of like 10 hours of sun and moon songs, or moonlight or sunlight and things like that, and daylight. So that's what we're going to do. And I also heard of something very cool today, that NASA does have science experiments that you can conduct that will help with research, because when there's an eclipse, it's something that doesn't happen very often, and they want to record things that can happen during a total eclipse that never happen during regular daytime or nighttime. For example, different animals make noises when it gets dark. And if it gets dark in the middle of the day when it's not expected to be, animals that usually don't make noise during the day may make noise during the day. So there's like an app that you can get, and you can sign up for it, that you can record sound during that time so they can study what's happening in your area, your location, and things like that. You never know. They may be able to find out stuff about endangered species, things like that. Science. It's freaking cool. Oh, we got some other people. Zendo! Hello again. Hello, Roman. Good evening, Bill. Friendly little finger. I don't know if we are lucky at this side of the ocean to see the eclipse. I don't think so. It's only in the United States, so I'm going to finish talking about that for now and talk about music again. And yes, if you have clear skies on Monday. Currently, they're saying that the skies are not going to be heavy cloud cover, but we should be able to see the eclipse. Either way, it's going to get dark around 3 o'clock in the afternoon here in Cleveland. So, back to the story that I was telling before Roman came down. And this might be interesting. I don't know if you will be fascinated by this or not, Roman, but he's down here playing his Nintendo Switch. Here, I'll show you. Portrait of a young man playing the Switch. There we go. Are you playing Mario?
Yeah.
Which Mario game are you playing?
The one that I got for my birthday.
Oh, okay. I forget the name of that one, but it's a new Mario game.
Super Mario Bros. Wonder.
Oh, Wonder. Okay. All right. So, this past Wednesday, when I was out with, once again, the distinguished Kevin Hart, damn good friend, great friend, love the guy. Anyway, so we're out at Mistake by the Lake Records, and we're shopping, and I see a record. That just has a question mark on it.
Question mark?
Yes, look. So I pull it out and I turn it around, and it says $8 on it. I'm thinking, what the heck? And I'm looking at this cover, and I'm looking closer at this cover. I take the plastic off.
What does it remind you of?
What?
What does it remind you of?
That reminds me of the original Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah.
So anyway, this record here, it's covered with green paint. You can even see the paint that got dripped on here and dried. And then you look a little bit closer, and it's actually a record cover for Zero Mostel performing songs from Fiddler on the Roof. What in the heck? Yeah, no, it's not Question Mark and the Mysterians. This is just like this. So I kind of put it down and I keep on looking through records. Then I move over to the next Creative Records and I'm searching through them. And Kevin's next to me and he's going through. And I see him pull the record out. And he pulls out the record and starts checking it. Says, I wonder what this is. And I said, yeah, I was looking at that too. So he ended up buying the record. He said, I have a mission for you, Mr. Bill.
Mr. Bill?
Well, me, Bill. So I want you to review this on the Box of Sound live stream. Well, I decided to check it out. And I did some research. And St. Brando, I will be answering your question in a little bit as soon as I finish talking about this. So, here is the record. I cleaned it up a bit. There's the label. And there is the second side label. It's a Saucepan Records. Now, it says in the dead wax on side one, let's see, where's side one? Actually, side one says, here today, grids tomorrow. And strangely enough, the first song on there is called Grids.
What?
And then the flip side says in the dead wax, where is it? Grids just want to have fun. Some thinking, oh, this is an album by a group called The Grids. No, I looked this up. This label, Saucepan Records, is from Lakewood, Ohio. And this is actually a band from Lakewood, Ohio called Real Regular. And this is an EP. This record runs at 45 RPM and it's a punk record. Sounds like it was recorded on a boombox. As a matter of fact, I'm going to play a little bit of it because I'm pretty sure that this record is not one that is widely copyrighted or played on the radio or will be flagged by YouTube. So give me a second here. Putting away this Jimi Hendrix record I was listening to.
Jimi Hendrix?
Yeah. You know who he is, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta be kidding me.
I love Jimi Hendrix. Are you kidding? Look, see all these pictures of Jimi Hendrix?
Sheesh.
Yeah. He was a pretty good guy. I had this record when I was 10 years old.
10?
Yeah. This is an old record. Oh, excuse you.
What?
Oh, you farted.
I didn't do that.
That wasn't me then. I don't know what that was. So anyway, let me put this record on. And I'm going to be playing part of side two. Now there's two tracks on here. One's a short one. One's a really long one, like about 8.5 minutes long. And it's, it reminds me of a couple of punk bands. Metal Theologian, if you're listening, you check this out. I'll move to another part of the record.
On a sunny day, the clouds never get in my way. Yeah, that's just a little thing I do. Yeah, I can tie my shoes.
Hear that echo thing going on?
Sure, you're so fat you probably can't even stand up.
So, not bad stuff. Not infinitely interesting, but very interesting. That long track. There's parts where the singer sings, and then there's echoes that go through an echo chamber, and then they speed up and slow down the vocal speed, kind of like how the Butthole Surfers used to do that.
What?
There was a group called the Butthole Surfers. I think they're still around, but great band, great band. Yeah, it's a gross name, but they made some pretty intense music. Yes, indeed. Nate Bouchard, hello, good evening. Spaghetti Lee. Yeah, I like your observation. Oh my God, is that guitar tuned? and the Marty Feldman picture is very, very suitable. Another person said, okay, and I thought Metal Theologian would like this. Yeah, it sounds pretty cool. So, yeah, the name of the band is Real Regular. And I guess that they had several different vinyl variants of this. One was on like a milky white splatter, and then one was on yellow vinyl, and then this one's on black vinyl. And I don't know how many were made, but it was just a little tiny record label out of Lakewood, Ohio. So pretty cool. But okay, good. Spaghetti Lee agrees that it does sound kind of like the Butthole Surfers. Yep, I saw them live once. They were great. Just a just total outrageousness. I'll never forget that show, and I loved it. Anyway, didn't recognize a single song they played, but they were jamming all night long. Oh yes. So that was that. What else did I get? Oh, I talked to Kevin about this.
Nuggets?
No, I didn't get chicken nuggets. Sorry about that.
No, that's fine.
For those of you who are Primus fans, you might already know that they are doing this short tour in a package with a couple of other bands. Here you go. Anyway, Primus is doing a short tour before they do their main tour later on this year with A Perfect Circle and Pussifer, because they are celebrating the 60th birthday of Maynard James Keenan. Yes. And there's this special record that is, I think it's only available at the shows and also on mail order. It's called Sesenta. And it's a one-sided record that's got a track by A Perfect Circle. Second track is by Pussifer. And the third track is by Primus. And Maynard singing lead vocals on all three of these. Very cool. It's a 45 RPM record, and there's only one side to it. Check out
Ew.
this.
What is this?
You see this? Look at that record. Weird colors, huh?
Gross.
And it's got an etched side too, which I don't know if you can see or not. It's got the artwork here. It's pretty cool stuff. Yeah. But the etching is pretty much a duplication of the cover art here. So, if you are a Primus collector, Thumbfinger, I'm talking to you. You may want to check this out and pick that up. All right, let's put this away. All right, one more new record I want to talk about that I picked up this week.
10 more minutes.
Okay. There's probably a number of people that are very familiar with the band called King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. Sounds like a cartoon that I might have watched when I was a kid. Hey kids, it's time for King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard.
What?
Anyway, I saw an advertisement for an album that's coming up by them called Nonagon Infinity Live. It's a live version of an album they put out in 2016. I think it was their 8th album. King Gizzard has a bajillion records out. And this is the 3rd album I bought by these guys. First one I got was Polygon Wonderland, which was their free album. I downloaded it and just fell in love with it, so I ended up buying a copy of it. And another album that I bought by them was Infest the Rat's Nest. Very heavy, very cool album by King Gizzard that I strongly recommend if you're into them. But I heard about this album, Nonagon Infinity, and I went on Spotify and listened to it. And I had to go out and buy it. I had to get it. This is really nice. Now, I bought this, brought it home. Oh, you got to see this record. This is a beautiful colored vinyl record, by the way. Because I asked the guy at the store, says, do you know if this is on colored wax or not? He says, no, I don't know. So, side 1 looks like this. Check that out. It's got black and red, and it's got some other colors here that are very nicely marbling into this. And then, check out the flip side. Beautiful. Beautiful. And the colored vinyl does not affect the playback of this. And then after I was listening for a while, I started reading into this, and it's like this album is designed to be an infinite piece of music that just keeps on repeating. And when I listened to this album for the first time in many, many years, after I listened to it for the first time, I flipped it over and listened to it again, and then played side 2 again. This is a very well constructed record. And let's see. MT says, man, people complain about colored vinyl, but yeah, it is awesome. It is a very good looking record. But very strongly recommend this album, Nonagon Infinity. Now, there's probably a number of you out there that already have this album and know it by heart, and you're saying, finally, Bill, you're getting on the stick and, getting some nice music into your life. So, this is good. This is great. So, very happy that I got that. And let's see. Yeah, it ends at the beginning, and all of the songs interlock. I love it. So I have not done the free download yet, but I'm going to download that and just make a little list of it and play it one day. Just let it go, 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 and it's great stuff. All right, real quick, let me get our commercial out of the way, and then we'll do the rest of this show. If you haven't gotten it already, you should. Spudlock. It's available on Bandcamp. Spudlock.bandcamp.com. And that's how Spudlock sound. There's no C in Spudlock. Okay? It's like there's only one E in Beatles. And, pardon me, you can get it on vinyl or you can get the download. Soon I'm going to be making homemade CDs of this album and selling those. But it won't be available any other way like that. More great stuff from Metal Theologian here. Bill must finally have every Zappa record, so he's ready to dig in the King Gizzard now. You know, I'll never have all the Zappa records because there's too many friggin' bootlegs out there. And still waiting for the announcement of the next Zappa album. I don't know what's coming out. I was hoping that they would say something soon. But I'm hoping that there will be an announcement in the coming week. As soon as there is an announcement, I'm going to be... you won't be able to shut me up about it when the new Zappa gets announced. So let me go to my list of things. Let's see if we've got... let's see. Well... the next anniversary is going to be on the 7th, which is tomorrow, as a matter of fact. Yeah, today's the 6th, tomorrow's the 7th. Tomorrow will be the 48th anniversary of the album Apostrophe being certified gold by the RIAA. And when that happened, Frank Zappa hired a marching band to march in front of Warner Brothers Records with a sign that said, "Anybody who can get one of my records in the top 10 is okay in my booklet." And years later, Warner Brothers would do some very nasty things to Frank Zappa.
What?
Yes,
So
they would.
hurt him?
They didn't hurt him, but they made it very hard for him to continue to make music. But he eventually, he got the better end of that. And let's see. Besides Beat the Boots, you don't do Zappa bootlegs. You're a smart person. Because if you're on Zappateers and you know how to do file sharing, you can download bootlegs for free. You can also listen to bootlegs on YouTube. No charge. And the sound quality is going to be just as good, if not better, than a bootleg is. So listen to Zappa music, buy Zappa music, but don't buy the bootlegs unless they're the Beat the Boots series. So that's what's going on with that. All right, we've got, oh my gosh, less than 2 minutes. Shall we make some noise? Yeah, we're just about done. It's almost 11 o'clock here. Once again, later on this evening, probably in about an hour or so, I'm going to go on Twitch and try and play some music. It's just going to be an experiment, so nothing serious. So it's almost 11 o'clock. Stay tuned for your local news, except on the West Coast. I had a great time. Hope you did too. And I want to thank you for stopping by and giving us the courtesy of broadcasting on your computer or TV or whatever you watch this on. And right now, Roman and I are going to make some music. So have a good night. Enjoy the eclipse or the the coverage of the eclipse on the news. Have a good weekend. Press down more than one key. in space! Alright folks, that's it. Thank you once again for joining us. We'll see you next week.